Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're stepping into a highly immersive, intensely sensory journey straight out of the ancient epic, the Mahabharata. We're going to track one incredibly focused hero as he navigates a wild, frankly dangerous mountainous landscape to find something breathtakingly beautiful. So let's dive right into this vivid world. Herds of mad elephants besmeared with mud, resembling masses of pouring clouds. Just take a second and visualize that. The sheer scale, the raw, untamed power of it. You can almost feel the ground shaking underneath you. This is the wild environment of the Gandhamadana mountain. And the person walking right through the dead center of these pouring clouds of elephants? Well, that is Bhima.
Section 1. Inspired by Greatness, the Shadow of Hanuman.
Now, as the best of strongmen steps onto this path for his highly specific search, he isn't just relying on his own immense physical strength for this micro-quest across the massive, sprawling mountain. He's actively thinking of two legendary figures. On the one hand, we have Hanuman, specifically his body and splendor, which is described as unrivaled on earth, and on the other, the greatness and dignity of Dasaratha's son, Rama. Bhima is basically using the memory of these two towering icons as mental fuel. He's letting their historic power and their unmatched dignity propel him forward on his own search. Because you see, he's looking for a very elusive, very specific kind of lotus. Section 2. Into the Wild Mountain, a sensory tour of Gandhamadana. As we track his steady advance chronologically, the text doesn't just hand us a map. It gives us this incredible, vivid word painting. He departs with his mind completely fixed on Hanuman and Rama, and as the morning progresses, he plunges deeper into the terrain, beholding romantic woods, groves, and rivers. He passes right through flowery woodlands variegated with all sorts of different blooms and lakes graced with blossoming trees. We are right there with him, tracking his steady progression through this dynamic landscape, marching forward until the sun hits its absolute peak in the sky, the meridian. And man, along this timeline, the sheer biodiversity he runs into is just staggering. He sees deer with quick glances, holding grass in their mouths. He passes lakes absolutely haunted by maddened black bees. He strides right into mountainous regions inhabited by wild buffaloes, bears, and leopards. And later on, he'll encounter waters crowded with swans and beautiful water birds like korandavas and chakravukas. It is a chaotic, vibrant, beast-filled environment teeming with life at every single turn. But honestly, what makes this journey so captivating is the contrast. Bhimasena, completely fearless because of his own physical prowess, is walking right past these fierce elements, the bears, the leopards, the mad elephants. Yet at the exact same time, he's being invited forward by the incredibly gentle elements of the forest. The text specifically notes the breeze-shaken trees, ever fragrant with flowers, bearing delicate coppery twigs. It's this beautiful juxtaposition, right? A fearless warrior navigating intense, lethal danger, while entirely surrounded by delicate, fragile beauty. Section 3. Driven by true devotion, the ultimate motivation. So, you gotta ask, why is the best of strong men out here looking for a delicate flower amidst a bunch of leopards? To understand the emotional core of this quest, we have to look at how nature itself responds to his noble purpose. We're looking past his warrior identity to reveal a much softer, deeply romantic motivation. As he passes the lakes, having romantic descents, the text gives us this stunning visual, on account of the presence of lotus buds appearing as if they had joined their hands. This brilliantly illustrates the reverence of nature toward him. The environment itself seems to be responding. The unbloomed lotus buds literally look like hands pressed together in a respectful greeting, bowing to the hero as he passes by. Now, what keeps a person going in a mountainous wilderness filled with wild beasts? Well, it isn't a backpack full of rations. The text explicitly states that he had for his provisions on the journey the words of Draupadi. That is just so powerful. His true sustenance isn't food or water. Actually, it's the sustaining, echoing words of his beloved. It is her request that drives him onward with immense speed, keeping his mind and his sight entirely fixed on the blooming slopes of the mountain. Section 4. The Golden Lotus River. The object gained. Okay, so the sun has finally passed the meridian, hitting its absolute highest point in the sky. Bhima is deep in the forest, scattered over with deer. And suddenly, the landscape just opens up. He beholds a mighty river. And the text describes it like this. The river looks like a garland of fresh lotuses put on by the mountain. It's crowded with swans, korandavas, and graced with chakravakas. After miles of thick woods and wild beasts, The mountain itself seems to be wearing this majestic flowing river of flowers like a huge celebratory garland. And there it is. Right in the middle of that mighty river is the big reveal, the discovery that one of great strength finally finds what he has been relentlessly seeking, an extensive assemblage of Saugandhika lotuses. Let's actually break down exactly what that is, because it's the whole reason for this journey. The Saugandhika is a specific, highly sought-after, delightful lotus, but look at how the text describes it visually. It is effulgent as the rising sun. Effulgent meaning radiating, glowing, brilliantly shining. Bhima has waded through mud, bears, and thickets to find a flower that literally glows with the brilliant, vibrant beauty of the morning sun. It is a prize completely delightful to behold. And what does he do when he finally finds it? The son of Pandu looks at this glowing field of lotuses, and he thinks within himself that his object has been gained. But his very next thought isn't about his own glory or his own strength in surviving the wild mountain. No way. The text says he mentally presented himself before his beloved, worn out by exile. It is this deeply satisfying, emotional resolution. In his ultimate moment of triumph, looking at the most beautiful thing on the mountain, his immediate instinct is to mentally offer this beauty to Draupadi, hoping to bring a moment of light to ease the difficult burden of her exile. It's just an absolutely incredible story of strength, completely guided by devotion. We see how the memory of greatness, combined with the love for someone worn out by life's hardships, can drive us through the absolute wildest obstacles. So I want to leave you with this thought to reflect on. What metaphorical golden lotuses are you currently searching for in your own life? And how far and through what wild environments would you be willing to travel to bring a little bit of radiant beauty to someone you love? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this ancient journey brought some fresh inspiration to your day.